Good evening, well, good afternoon, Nathan. Good afternoon, Tori. We are about to begin. I do hope and trust that you had a good weekend and you are having a good week so far. And we are here to continue our look on scientific notation or standard form. Tori, were you here last week when we started significant figures and standard form?
I don't think so. No, miss.
Okay, no problem. All right, so what we'll do then is just a quick review. Nathan, do you remember what we started with standard form? You remember some of the items?
Yes.
All right, cool. Are you seeing my screen? Seeing my screen? Are you
Yes.
seeing? Okay, great.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so when we start to look on scientific notation or standard form, last week we looked at the general form of or scientific notation or standard form. It is a term A, and A is general form is a term A. Sometimes you will see on the internet that the A is capitalized. So and this term A, it must be less than 10, and it can be either equal to 1 or greater than 1. And you can tell what the value is going to be based on the numeral that you're given. So in the examples here, you are given 80, what was this again? 8 million, yes, 8 million. So you already know that this numeral will be starting with 8, same for the second example. So scientific notation or standard form is generally your short way of writing either large numbers or small numbers, as you can see from those examples. So our plan for today's session is to look at how you write figures in standard form, as well as writing from standard form to the normal form that we are used to. Good afternoon, Ophelia. Good afternoon, Ophelia. Good afternoon, Dejane. All right, so we're continuing. Just lost my mouse. Why is my mouse? No. Okay. Okay, I wanted to just post this link, but let me see if we're able to watch it directly from here. And my mouse is not allowing me to click. Give me a second, please.
Hiya, I'm the Maths Prof, and today I'm going to show you how to use standard form. Standard form is just a handy way of writing.
Are you able to hear the video?
Yes, miss.
Are there any glitches in it?
No,
No.
miss.
Okay.
Really big or really small numbers. Here I've got a few examples of really big and really small numbers, so I'm going to turn those into standard form, and afterwards I'm going to show you how to do it the other way around. So let's look at the first few. So these are three large numbers. When we turn these numbers into standard form, we need to first of all write the number so that it's in between 1 and 10. So in the first example, I'm going to write the number 3 because that number is between 1 and 10. Next, I have to write times 10. Now when we're using standard form, we always write times 10. It's just the format that we use. Now, we need to write a power here because we can't just leave it like this because 3 times 10 is 30 and the number here is 3,000. So we need to look to see how many places we've moved the decimal. The decimal used to be here, and now if I'm making this number 3, it's moved to there. So you can see the decimal, it looks like it's jumped 3 places here. So the power we put on the 10 is 3.
All right, let me just quickly stay here. That although she's using or expressing that the decimal moves, notice that she's saying that with quotation marks, because as you know, the decimal point does not move. It's actually the values of your digits that are changing. But what we're doing now, just for convenience, we're keeping the analogy that she's using where the point moves, because personally and even professionally, I do not like to say the decimal point moves because it does not. Okay, I was putting that disclaimer out there from now in case, yeah. So let me just leave it at that. But this video it's straightforward, and I think you'll be able to understand it quite easily too. If there are any questions, please feel free to type it in the chat or raise your hand and we can talk about it afterwards.
So this is equal to the number 3,000 because 10 cubed is 1,000 and 3 times 1,000 is 3,000. So here we go, we've done the first one, that's now in standard form. In the next one, if we want to write this number between 1 and 10, this number here should be written as 4.2. Then remember, for standard form, you always have to write times 10. So here, I'm writing times 10. And then for the power, I need to check to see how many places the decimal has moved. So it used to be here, and now it's in between the 4 and the 2, because we've got 4.2 here. So when I check this time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's moved 5 places. So the power on the 10 is 5. Okay, so this number is now in standard form. Now, the last.
Would you like to give the last one a try on your own before she says the answer? Would you like to give the final one for that section a try before she gives the answer? Nathan? Torre?
Yes, miss.
Would you like to give the last one a try before she says the answer?
Okay.
That's the one with the 5 that in the first section, the one that she started already. So you can go ahead.
5.67 times 5, 10 to the 5th, 10 to the 5th power, miss.
How much power?
To the 6th, miss.
Check again.
to the 8th, miss?
Stop guessing. Count it. Count it up. You said 5.67, right?
Yes, miss.
So count the number of places based on the original digit, the original numeral, I should say.
5, miss. 5 places.
There are 5 zeros, but are there 5 places?
Okay, we said 5.67. So
How many places did it take for you to get to 5.67?
2, miss.
2, so the 6 and 7 occupy 2 places, right?
Yes, miss.
And then you add the 5 zeros, how many do we have?
7, miss.
So how many powers should we have?
7, miss.
All right, Torre, do you agree?
Yes, miss.
Are you sure?
Yes, miss.
What if I made a mistake? And I'm just pulling and I'm just pulling a leg, or I'm just being difficult to say, oh yeah, this is it. Trying to test if you really are sure.
No, miss.
All right, Torre. All right, I hear you. Let me finish it.
That's a large number. So the first thing you need to do is to make sure this number is between 1 and 10. So 5.67. Okay, so I'm using the same numbers. I'm just putting the decimal in between the 5 and 6. Then, as before, we write times 10. And then to find the power, you check to see how many places the decimal has moved. So it used to be there, and now we're placing it between the 5 and the 6. So if I count the digits here, I've got 7. So that gives me the power on the last question. Okay? Now, with small numbers, it's almost the same. Okay, it's still the same idea with this number between 1 and 10 and timesing by 10, except the power this time is going to be negative. So whenever you've got really small numbers, like these ones, the power on the 10 will be a negative power. So let's do the first one. To make this number between 1 and 10, I need to write 4. Then I'm going to write times 10, just as before. I'm also going to check to see how many places the decimal has moved, and it's moved 3 times. But remember, it's a negative power because it's a small number. So this time, it's negative 3. Okay, the next example, same thing as before. Write the number between 1 and 10, so this becomes 5.6. Then we write times 10. And then you count to see how many places the decimal has moved. So it used to be here, now it's here. So it's moved 5 digits. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the power on this one is negative 5. Now the last one we're going to turn into standard form.
Following so far?
Yes, miss.
All right. So Torre, Nathan did the last one, so I want you to do this one, okay? Torre,
Yes, miss.
I'd like for you to give this last one a try. 0.000403. Say again?
4.03
Mhm.
times 10 to the negative third power.
Are you sure it's negative third?
Yes, miss.
Have a look at it again and tell me.
Negative 4, miss.
Ah, thank you very much. Nathan, do you agree? Check it for yourself, Nathan, and tell me. Nathan, do you have something for me now?
Miss,
Okay, go ahead, my dear.
wouldn't it be 5, miss.
Say again?
20 to the 5th power, miss.
Remember, you're putting it so that it is lesser than 10. If it's to the negative 5th power, it's gonna be 40, but it has to be lesser than 10. So it will be -4.
Oh, okay, miss.
Because the reason I also like this video, notice she did it in steps. Like, first and foremost, the format says it must be a number less than 10. So what she did was write it in that place, in that format first. So from the first one, she wrote it as 3, second, 4.2, third, 5.67, and she continued. With the last one, you do the same thing. Write it less than 10, more than or equal to 1. So writing it as 4.03. Next, it has to be multiplied by 10. Then you write it times 10. Because we're dealing with smaller numbers, meaning decimal number that's going to be lesser than 1, your power is going to be negative automatically. Then you count your number of places or positions or groups, and then that would give you your exponent. So let us finish this final few minutes.
This time, we're going to put the decimal here, so that we've got 4.03, because this number is between 1 and 10. Then I'm going to write times 10, and then lastly, I check to see how many places the decimal has moved. So we started here, now we're there, so 1, 2, 3, 4, so it's moved 4 places, so the power is -4. So here we've got some examples turning the numbers into standard form. Now I'm going to show you how to do it the other way around.
Good afternoon, Courtney.
Good afternoon.
And how are you doing?
I'm doing okay.
All right, you were with us last week, right?
No, miss.
None of the days last week?
No, this is my first time, miss.
Okay, well, welcome. And so we are starting our look on, well, not starting, we're continuing our look on the final part of computation, which would be to, we're looking at, there we go. We are looking at standard form scientific notation. And we just watched a video summarizing what standard form is and how we write it. I'm also going to post the video link in the chat so that in your free time you can watch the video again. So as I advised last week, if you're using your laptop, your phone, and you're able to save your video link, just create a notepad, a new notepad, and save your video links, copy and paste your video links. So I just sent that one there for everyone to have a look at it. So we are going to do a bit of practice now. And this one, I'm going to time it for 7 minutes. As you can see, I'll let you know when to begin. And once you're finished also, feel free to raise your hand, and your 7 minutes start now. Go ahead, please. And Courtney, feel free to give it a try, even if you may not have like officially done it in class, but give it a try based on what you think it could mean, okay?
Yes, miss.
All right, thank you very much. Once you're finished, remember to raise your hand. Less than 4 minutes left. 50 seconds left. 50 seconds. All right, the time is up. How far did you get, Tori? Tori,
Yes, I'm
say again, please.
finished.
Okay, thank you very much. Nathan, what about you?
I'm finished, miss.
Then you guys hear when I said use the raise hand icon when you guys are finished? What about you, Courtney?
So I'm not finished.
Okay, how far did you get?
Studied about 2 of them already.
Okay. All right, so here is what we are going to do. All right, so Courtney, which two were you able to? The first and second one? Courtney, which two were you able to do? The first and second one?
It's the second and the 5th one.
Second and the fifth one. All right. So I'm going to allow Tori and Nathan to do first one. Well, Tori, you can start the first one. Then Courtney, I want to hear what you have for the second. Nathan, you pick up with the third, okay?
Okay, miss.
All right, so Tori, go ahead with the first one. And then Courtney, if you have any questions, feel free to stop them and ask, okay? Or just raise your hand. All right?
Yes, miss.
Okay, so Tori, go ahead, please.
Since the first one is 9.38 times 10 to the second power. 4 times 3.
Say again, please. 9. Time, you said second power?
Yes, miss.
All right. Nathan, any objections? Nathan, any objection?
No, miss.
Okay, what about you, Courtney? Does it seem like something that you could follow?
Yes, miss.
It makes sense?
Yes, miss.
All right, so Courtney, it's now your turn with the second one.
Yes, miss, I can write it on the screen.
If you can click on the screen.
Yes, miss.
Honestly, my darling dearest, I don't know. I'm not sure at all. You could try and see if you're able to. If it allows you to write, I really don't know.
Okay, miss.
Yeah, I'm not that tech savvy. Like I know how to do just the basic stuff, okay? Just the basic stuff. So are you able to write? Oh yes, you can write. Wow, that's so cool. Okay, so Nathan and Tori, you guys do that next because I'm no longer writing. I've retired from writing. That's so cool. Like, how did you do that? Like, I want to do that. Oh, wait, I've just done that. Okay, let me see your finished one. What are you doing? What's happening? What's happening? Courtney, what are you doing? Courtney, what happened? Oh, okay. Continue. I see you again. Continue. Yeah. Aha. Nice. Okay. Nathan, you're next.
Miss, how
Thank
do you
you.
write on
Thank you very much, Courtney. Courtney, Nathan is asking you how you write on your screen.
There's a pencil icon above the mic. You can press it and use it.
Do you have a
Excuse me,
pen?
miss.
Yes, Torre.
Miss, I have to leave now. Miss.
Okay, my dear. Bye, my dear. Have a good one.
Miss, I don't see it.
Courtney, are you using your phone?
Yes, miss.
Yeah. Nathan, what are you using? You're using a tablet or computer?
I'm using my laptop, miss.
Oh, sweetie pie, I don't know, because I'm just as clueless, because I am shocked, like, but that was so cool, right? Oh my gosh. Oh yes, Nate, Nathan, do you see the option where it says annotate? Do you see annotate on your tab?
Let's see. No, miss.
All right, do you see anything that allows you to like share screen, microphone, participants, chat? You see any of those tabs at the bottom?
Miss, I see share screen.
And you don't
Yeah.
see anything that says annotate beside it.
Miss, it says record beside it and reactions and apps.
What do you see in apps? I don't think it would be in apps, but what you see in apps?
Twine for Zoom, timer, wordly translation, Potter by Prezi.
That must like nothing that has to do with writing. Oh man, okay, Nathan. I guess you won't be able to write on the screen today, but we'll figure it out, okay? We'll definitely figure it out. So, what's your answer, my dearest?
Miss, is it 10 to the 5th power, miss?
Did you give me the full answer, Nathan? You just let me 10 to the 5th power? What is the full answer?
8.37 times 10 to the 5th power.
Nathan, not because, not because, remember, I'm using a mouse. 8.37 times 10 to the how much?
10 to the 5th power, miss.
Okay, yes, awesome. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to skip over some of those, well, the remaining items, right? And go to the bonus. What did you do with the bonus question? So Nathan, you were the only one other than Tori, but Tori isn't here who said they had finished. So Nathan, can you share with us what you think the answer is for the bonus question? Nathan, Nathan, Nathan,
Um,
Nathan. Go ahead.
Is it one? Is that a negative sign? Oh no, it's not that. 1.05
Yeah.
times 10 to the first power, miss?
10 to the how much power?
To the first power, miss?
Go lower.
To the negative first power, miss?
Go higher.
10 to the 0th power, miss?
Yes. Because you didn't have to move it. There were no groups, then so it's a 0 power. And any number to the 0 power is 1. So it's, when you multiply, it's going to give you about 1.05.
Okay, miss.
Yes. So Courtney and Nathan, whenever you have a number that's already in the form, meaning it is between 1 and 10, well, already in the form, yeah, between 1 and 10, the power that you're going to have, or the exponent, is going to be 0. Because you don't have to do anything to it. Now we are going to watch part 2 of our video. Are you ready to watch part 2 of a video? I'm gonna share my, which one is it? Okay. Now, part 2 of the video will show us where we're writing from standard form to our sign, to our numeral or regular numeral form. I don't, were you hearing it? I don't remember sharing the sound. Oh, yes.
Okay, so here I've got my numbers in standard form and I want to take them out of standard form and I want to write them as ordinary numbers. So just before we get started,
Are we hearing it clearly?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, great. So let me see how much time on this video. Okay, it's another 4-minute change video. We do have time, so we'll watch and I will pause in between for you to share your input. And I will also share the video link for this as well.
on these, let's just have a look at the powers. In the first 3, all the powers are positive, so I can expect those numbers to be large numbers. In the last 3, the powers are negative, so I can expect those numbers to be small ones. So in the first one, the power is positive 3. That means the decimal has to move 3 places. So the decimal, at the moment, it's here. We don't normally write 4.0 or 4 point, but we just have to remember that the decimal is just after the digit 4. So that decimal is going to move 3 places to the right so that the number gets bigger. So there are no numbers here. So when that happens, we just add in zeros. Okay, now you should be able to see that the decimal used to be there, now it's there, so it's moved 3 places. Okay, this makes sense because 10 cubed is 10 times 10 times 10, which is 1,000, and 4 times 1,000 is 4,000. Okay, so that's the first one done. Now, in the second one, the power is 5. So we know the decimal is going to move 5 places to the right because the number's getting bigger again. So here's our decimal. So here we've got 1, 2, so that's 2 digits, but I need to add 3 zeros so that the number, the decimal, has moved 5 places. Okay, so let's do a check. It used to be here, now it's here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that one's good. Now, the last large number. The power is 4, so the decimal is going to move 4 places to the right. So again, there are 2 digits here, so 1, 2, but I need to add 2 more zeros so that the decimal has moved 4 places. So 71300, let's just do a check. There, the decimal used to be, now it's there, and we've got 4 digits in between. Okay.
Is it clear so far, the explanation?
Yes, miss.
Okay, what about you, Courtney? Thank you, Nathan. What about you, Courtney?
Yes, miss.
Okay, so what we're watching now, the final parts of the video.
Okay, so those ones are good. On to the small numbers. So this time, the decimal still moves 3 places, except now the decimal is going to move to the left so that we get a small number. So remember, if there's no decimal in this number here, just remember that it's after the digit 2. So we're going to move 1, 2, 3. So remember, when there are no numbers there, we need to add in zeros. So for this one, it's going to look like that, because the decimal used to be after the 2, and now it's there. So I've moved 1, 2, 3 places. Now, this 0, it's not wrong if we don't put the 0 in, because 0.002 is the same thing. It's just nice and tidy if we put the 0 in front of this decimal here. Okay? Now, this one here, the decimal has to move 5 places. So I'm going to move it 1 here. So I need 4 more zeros for the decimal to have moved 5 places. Okay, so I've got 4 zeros after the decimal, then I've got my 675. So again, just keep checking. The decimal used to be there, now it's there. We should have 5 digits in between those arrows, and we do. And then we just put a 0 here just to make it look nice and tidy. Okay, and there we go. Now, the last one. This time the decimal is moving 6 places. So here it's moving 1, and then I need to add 5 zeros. So we've got 0.234583. Okay, so final check. The decimal used to be there, now it's there, and I've got 6 digits in between, which is correct. Okay, so that's standard form.
Was that video clear, gentlemen?
Yes, miss.
Yes.
All right, so you think you can give some items a try now in the final few minutes that we have left?
Yes, miss.
All right, so let us do that. Let me see, should I? Give me a second, let me see if we should do this one first or skip over it. So I'm gonna share this link with you now.
Miss, how do you copy the link, miss?
Yeah, I'm going to send it to you now. I'm gonna share the link with you. If it would only come out, hold on 1 second. I'm not, why is it not coming up? Yes, I'm seeing it. Are you seeing it now?
Yes, miss.
Let me know if you're able to click on it, because I'm not sure if it's still active. Well, it should still be active. Able to click on it?
Yes, miss, it's working.
Okay, great. So remember to either raise your hand when you're finished or send me a direct message. And I don't think you should take long for this one. So go ahead, please. Thank you. See you, Nathan.
If I'm finished.
All right, great. Courtney, how far are you?
Miss, I'm finished.
You're finished as well? Okay. All right, so who would like to share with me the first response? So you're supposed to match them up, right? Hello, you were to match the items?
Yes, Miss.
Okay, so 0.35 will match to which one?
0.35, Miss, would match the 3.5 times 10 to
Yeah,
the
times,
negative first power.
right? Do you agree, Courtney?
Yes, Miss.
All right, so Courtney, you'll do the next one. 0.000035 will match to which one?
Me, Miss?
Courtney, I was asking Courtney. Courtney, 0.000035 will match to which one?
It would match to 3.5 times 10 to the negative fifth power.
Thank you, my dear, you are correct. And then the 3.5 times 10 to the third power would match to which one?
Miss, repeat.
3.5 times 10 to the third power would match to or would be equal to?
0.0035.
Let me say again, 3.5 times 10 to the positive third power, what would that match to? 3.5 multiplied by 10 to the third. 10 to the third is the same as saying multiplying by 1,000. So what would it match to?
For me, miss,
Yes, Nathan, go ahead.
which question, miss?
3.5 times 10 to the third power.
3.5 times 10 to the positive statement?
Yeah, positive 3.
3,500, miss.
All right, that is correct. 3.5 times 10 to the negative 6, Courtney. Courtney? 3.5 times 10 to the negative 6.
This would be 0.00000035.
That is correct. And the final two items that we have, 0.0035 would be equal to
Miss, it would be 3.5 times 10 to the negative 3 third power, miss.
yes, my dear. And Courtney, the final one for you, 350. How would you write it in standard form? Courtney, 350, standard
Miss,
form.
Miss 3.5 times 10 to the negative 1 power.
It wouldn't be negative. Try again. It's 350 and a 350. It's a big number. So 350.
I'm still not sure about that one.
Okay, Nathan, would you like to help Courtney out, please?
The last question, miss.
Yes, 350.
Miss, it would be 3.5 times 10 to the second power.
Yes, that's correct. Can you explain to Courtney why you say second power?
Miss, because in 3.5, miss, at the 5, you would go under 2 times, miss. Can you say it like that?
Yeah, that could work. Ask Courtney if he understands when you said it like that. Ask him.
Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
All right. So when you clicked on it, when you clicked on finish, did you check your answers? Did any of you select finish and check your answers?
Oh, yes, miss, I did.
Okay, and how well did you do, Nathan?
I got everything correct, miss.
All right, thank you very much, Nathan. Courtney, what about you? Were you able to check your answers?
Yes, miss, I just got the last one incorrect.
Or just the last one? But did you see where you made your mistake?
Yes, miss.
All right, my dear. Okay, so what will come after this is we have, are you still seeing my screen?
Yes, miss.
Okay, so these slides were just to point out or to highlight what would have been mentioned in the two videos that we watched. Now, oftentimes, this is where we're closing off. Oftentimes, when you're looking at standard form or scientific notation and the significant figures, which we looked at last week, they often group those with calculation questions, whether it be whole numbers and decimals or a combination. So sometimes you don't see standard form questions being asked by themselves or even significant figures. They're usually grouped with something else and you're to do the breakdown from there. So when we meet tomorrow, we're going to do more of these application questions, since you have already looked at writing from your ordinary numeral to standard form, as well as from standard form to your ordinary number. Are there any questions? Anything that we need to go over? Anything at all?
No, miss.
No, miss.
All right, so gentlemen, it was a pleasure. Do enjoy the rest of your evening. See you tomorrow, all being well. Remember, math is not the only subject that you do. All subjects are important. Practice, practice, practice. Bye, guys.
Bye, miss.
Bye, miss.
Bye. Bye, my dearest. Bye.